Welcome to Dad's Got Dementia Situation Saturday. So much has changed since COVID-19 kind of came into existence here. And with Dad being at home and us taking care of him, there are a lot of things that we take for granted. His safety, his well-being, being fed, all of those things, because we kind of control that. But I have heard of like all of the nursing homes and people, their family members in nursing homes during these times, and just all of the uncertainty and anxiety that family members have about not being able to check on their loved ones when they want to, and just making sure that they're safe. But there are so many precautions that we all have to take, whether you're in a nursing home, whether you're caring for someone at home. And for us, with Dad being here, living with us, we have a caregiver that comes in, as well as my brother. But some of the things have changed again, so it doesn't matter that he's not in a nursing home. What matters is that we have to take the same precautions and maybe even a few more just because he is at home. So some of the things that we did just to make sure that both of my parents are safe and not exposed to this virus is that we had to limit who can come over to visit. So we don't have all of the grandkids that usually come over, my parents' grandchildren, our children. We can't have them just drop by anymore. So it's been probably going on 2 months since they've all come over, and they usually come and visit. There's someone over here at least every single weekend, and maybe once during the week. And so we have had to stop that completely because we can't control, how isolated or, if they're practicing social distancing. And I believe they are, but still, they are being exposed to other things that can't be brought into this house with my parents. So that's one thing that's impacted our family. And it's hard because we haven't seen anyone, my parents haven't seen anyone, and so that's been a bit hard. With our aide that comes in, we have two, one that comes during the week, one that comes on the weekend. And so we implemented washing hands often, which we have always stressed anyway, but I think we're stressing it more. And we really don't have to because our caregivers know, and they're very aware of keeping Dad safe and not putting him at risk for anything. But we have enforced that. We have masks that we leave by the door so that when someone comes in, they can use it. We have gloves. We have hand sanitizer or soap. And so everyone is required to go through that whole ritual. I tell you one surprising thing. We had about 2 weeks ago, or a week or so ago, a doctor and nurse came over because they come here to visit Dad. And the nurse, when I, went down to just kind of check to see what was going on, the nurse was currently checking, I think, Dad's heart rate or something, and did not have on gloves. And so I had to ask her, do you have gloves? And she said she had just washed her hands, but I offered her gloves and requested that she put them on. Because even with washing your hands, we really don't know about this virus. So she certainly obliged. The doctor did as well. He had on a mask anyway, but just really wanted them to have on gloves because ultimately it's up to us to make sure that nothing comes in this house, as far as we can control it. So that was a little surprising that we had to do that, but again, it was just a simple request, and they quickly put on gloves. So that's just a simple thing that something like that can really make a difference between my parents or my father getting sick or not, because people just do things without thinking. So that has changed. We're just really strict with that and just making sure that we are washing our hands also as often as possible. And, I don't even want to touch him on his face anymore because you just never know. So some of those things have changed. Another thing that has changed is as the weather's getting warmer, we would love to take my parents, both of them, out to, there's a garden that's around here that's not heavily populated, and they make everyone keep their distance. So one of those areas that you can just go out and exercise in nature and see flowers and all of those things. But we just really can't risk that either. So my father has been homebound, so that's a little different. He can go in the backyard, but it's just nothing like being able to take him out, take him for a ride. But those are just things that we can't do right now. So I'm not sure what precautions you are taking, but think about all of the ways that your loved one can be exposed and try to mitigate all of those risks if you can. But one of them is limiting, if your loved one is at home, limiting exposure by people that come into your home. So we have had to cut all of that, and my suggestion is if you have various people coming and going, even family members, you probably might want to consider just limiting it to those essential people that take care of your loved ones. I'm sure there are other things that you're doing out there that maybe we haven't thought about. So let me know what you're doing, what precautions you're taking. Let me know how you're handling your loved one if they are in a nursing home, assisted living, or other facility like that. What are you doing? But my hope is that this will be over soon and we can all begin to spend more time with our loved ones and get back to them and back to the things that we love. So until next time, take care, be safe, wash your hands.